From the post-war reconstruction to the high-tech tension of the 1980s, a philosophy of technological superiority, long-range engagement, and crew survivability designed to halt the Soviet steel avalanche. This is the complete catalog of every United States vehicle used during the Cold War. Let's start with the light tanks and airborne reconnaissance. The M24 Chaffee, the World War II veteran in Korea. While excellent in 1945, its 75mm M6 gun struggled against North Korean T-34 85s. Despite its thin armor, its torsion bar suspension provided excellent cross-country mobility, making it a reliable scout until the arrival of heavier armor. The M41 Walker Bulldog, the speed specialist, designed to replace the Chaffee with a high-velocity 76mm M32 gun. Highly agile but notoriously loud and fuel-hungry. It was heavily used by the ARVN in Vietnam, where its compact size allowed it to navigate terrain that heavier Pattons couldn't reach. The M551 Sheridan, the airborne powerhouse, an aluminum-hulled tank designed to be dropped by parachute. Its unique 152mm M81 gun launcher could fire massive he shells or the MGM-51 Shillelagh missile. However, the aluminum hull was vulnerable to mines, and the caseless ammunition was prone to fires in the humid jungles of Vietnam. The M50 Ontus, the Thing, a bizarre, low-profile vehicle carrying 6 106mm M40 recoilless rifles. Though originally an anti-tank design, it became a legend in Vietnam for its devastating anti-personnel capabilities, able to fire all 6 barrels in a massive ripple fire that could level an entire city block or bunker complex. The T-92 light tank, the low-profile experiment. Featuring a radical cleft turret and an automatic loader, it was designed to be air transportable. It was cancelled because it couldn't be made amphibious, a requirement that eventually led to the birth of the Sheridan. The M114 CRV, the Scout Brother, a small command and reconnaissance carrier designed to work alongside the M113. It was meant to be stealthy, but it was found to be mechanically unreliable and underpowered, often getting stuck in the mud during field trials. The V100 Commando, the 4x4 Guardian, a multi-purpose armored car used extensively by military police for base defense and convoy escort in Vietnam. Its sloped armor could deflect small arms fire and grenades, making it the perfect urban patrol vehicle for high-threat environments. The XM800 ARSV, the high-tech Scout, an experimental armored reconnaissance vehicle from the 1970s that tested both tracked and wheeled configurations. It was equipped with a 20mm Hispano-Suiza autocannon, intended to provide scouts with enough teeth to fight back against enemy light armor. The M22 Locust, the glider tank, a tiny airborne tank that saw limited post-war service. While innovative for its time, its 37mm gun was completely obsolete against the emerging T-54 tanks of the Soviet Union, leading to its early retirement. The M3 Scout Car, the aging messenger, a four-wheeled armored car used in the early post-war years for liaison and patrol. It was quickly phased out as the U.S. Army moved toward fully tracked or specialized 4x4 reconnaissance vehicles like the V100. Moving on to the medium and main battle tanks. The M26 Pershing, the Transition. Originally a heavy tank in World War II, it was reclassified as a medium tank in the late 1940s. Its 90mm M3 gun was the only weapon capable of reliably knocking out North Korean armor at long ranges during the initial stages of the Korean War. The M4A3E8 EZ-8, the final Sherman, the peak of the Sherman design, featuring horizontal volute spring suspension. It served with distinction in Korea, where its mechanical reliability often proved more valuable than the raw power of newer, heavier tanks. The M46 Patton, the first Patton, a Pershing hull upgraded with a powerful Continental V12 engine and a cross-drive transmission. It introduced the Patton name and corrected the mobility issues that plagued the earlier Pershing, setting the stage for decades of American tank design. The M47 Patton, the stopgap. Born from the crisis of the Korean War, it mated a T-42 turret with a modified M46 hull. It was the first U.S. tank with a stereoscopic rangefinder, though it was quickly exported to NATO allies as the M48 was finalized. The M48 Patton, the Cold War icon, featuring a revolutionary cast steel hull and a clamshell turret. It was the primary U.S. tank during the Vietnam War, prized for its ability to survive mine blasts and provide massive 90mm fire support for infantry in the field. The M60 Patton, the NATO Shield, the first U.S. main battle tank. It replaced the 90mm gun with the legendary 105mm M68 rifled gun. Its hull was flattened at the front to improve protection, and it introduced diesel engines for increased range and reduced fire risk. The M60A1, the long turret. This variant featured a needle nose turret that significantly increased the internal volume and frontal armor. It was the standard bearer for U.S. armored divisions in West Germany for over 2 decades. The M60A2 Starship, the high-tech failure. It used the M60 hull but fitted a futuristic turret with a 152mm gun launcher. The electronics were so complex and prone to failure that crews began calling it the Starship for its space-age tech and frequent malfunctions. The M60A3, the Digital Guardian, the final major upgrade to the M60 line. It introduced a laser rangefinder, a ballistic computer, and thermal imaging, TTS, allowing it to fight at night and through smoke as effectively as the newer Abrams. The MBT-70, the failed super tank, a joint U.S.-German project designed to be the ultimate weapon. It featured a kneeling suspension, an automated loader, and a 1,500 horsepower engine. While the project was canceled due to cost, it served as the high-tech foundation for the M1 Abrams. The T-95 medium tank, a radical experiment. It tested the concept of silicious core armor, a precursor to composite armor and smoothbore guns, pushing the boundaries of what a medium tank could be in the 1950s. The T-42 medium tank, an experimental tank built to replace the M46. Although it never entered mass production due to an underpowered engine, its turret design became the basis for the M47 Patton. The M1 Abrams, early, the Revolution, introduced in 1980, it featured Chobham composite armor, which provided unprecedented protection against heat rounds. Its AGT 1500 gas turbine engine made it the fastest and quietest tank of its era. The IPM-1 Abrams, the improved performance model. It featured a reinforced suspension and a longer turret bustle for more ammo and armor, acting as the bridge between the 105mm and 120mm armed versions. The M1A1 Abrams, the Hammer, the definitive Cold War Abrams. It finally mounted the 120mm M256 smoothbore gun and added pressurized NBC protection. It proved its dominance in the Gulf War, destroying Soviet-made T-72s at ranges where they couldn't even see the U.S. tanks. Moving to the heavy tanks. The M103 heavy tank, the Giant, developed to counter the Soviet IS-3 and T-10 heavy tanks. Its 120mm M58 gun required 2 loaders to handle the massive shells and separate powder charges. It was the last of the heavy tanks used primarily by the U.S. Marines. The T-32 heavy tank, an experimental heavy tank based on a Pershing chassis. It featured a significantly thickened turret and hull to ensure survival against the most powerful anti-tank guns of the late 1940s. The T-34 heavy tank, the 120mm experiment, a massive project testing high-velocity guns derived from anti-aircraft weapons. It was designed to punch through any armor the Soviet Union could field during the early Cold War years. The T-29 heavy tank, a post-war monster armed with a 105mm gun. Its massive turret was necessary for the large weapon and thick armor, and it became the direct functional ancestor of the M103 design. The T-30 heavy tank, a variant of the T-29 armed with a Dambulang 155mm gun. It was designed as a bunker buster, but its extreme weight and slow rate of fire made it impractical for mobile warfare. Next, the personnel carriers and infantry fighting vehicles. The M59 APC, the Boxy Pioneer, an early amphibious armored personnel carrier. While cheap and easy to produce, its use of 2 different truck engines caused severe maintenance issues and synchronization problems. The M75 APC, the Heavy Transport, a large and expensive personnel carrier built after the Korean War. Due to its high profile and high cost, it was quickly replaced by the more practical and lighter M113. The M113, the battlefield taxi, an aluminum box on tracks that became the most produced armored vehicle in Western history. Its simplicity allowed it to be modified for dozens of roles, from command posts to ambulance duties. The M132 Zippo, the flamethrower, an M113 variant that replaced the interior troop space with 4 50-gallon fuel tanks, could shoot a stream of fire for up to 32 seconds, a terrifying weapon used to clear bunker complexes. The M125/M106 mortar carriers, specialized M113s that allowed mortar teams to fire directly from the vehicle through a large circular hatch in the roof, providing shoot and scoot capability for artillery teams. The M2 Bradley, the game changer, developed in response to the Soviet BMP. It was an infantry fighter armed with a 25mm Bushmaster autocannon and tow missiles, capable of engaging both infantry and main battle tanks with ease. The M3 Bradley, the cavalry scout, while looking identical to the M2, it carried only Dalawang scouts instead of 6 infantrymen, using the extra space for more tow missiles and specialized radio equipment. The AAVP-7A1, the marine amphibian, a massive vehicle designed for ship-to-shore assaults. It could swim through heavy surf and carry 21 fully equipped Marines directly into the heart of a beachhead. Now, the self-propelled guns and anti-air. The M42 Duster, the infantry's friend, a twin 40mm Bofors system on an M41 chassis. While intended to shoot down planes, it was most famous in Vietnam for shredding waves of ground attackers with high-explosive shells. The M163 VADS, the Shredder, an M113 fitted with a 20mm M61 Vulcan rotary cannon. It could fire up to 3,000 rounds per minute, creating a wall of lead to intercept aircraft or annihilate light vehicles. The M247 Sergeant York, the radar-guided failure, a high-profile project meant to provide NATO divisions with modern air defense. It was cancelled after its radar systems repeatedly failed to track test targets reliably. The M108 SPH, the light howitzer, armed with a 105mm gun, it provided mobile fire support for light infantry divisions and saw significant action during the early years of the Vietnam War. The M109 SPH, the global standard, the backbone of Western artillery. Its 155mm gun and armored turret allowed it to keep pace with tank divisions and deliver devastating fire support within minutes. The M110 SPH, the heavy punch, a 203mm, 8-inch howitzer on an open-top chassis. It was the largest gun in the U.S. inventory, capable of firing tactical nuclear projectiles during city clearing or siege operations. The M53/M55, the heavy artillery, massive enclosed self-propelled guns from the 1950s. They used patent tank components but were reversed to place the engine at the front for better balance and crew space. The M48 Chaparral, the missile carrier, an M113 modified to carry 4 AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles. It provided short-range protection against low-flying Soviet jets that could evade radar-guided systems. Finally, the specialized engineering and support. The M728 CEV, the combat engineer, an M60 hull fitted with a short-barreled 165mm demolition gun and a massive bulldozer blade. It was built to smash fortifications and clear obstacles under fire. The M88 Hercules, the recovery muscle, a heavy-duty tracked vehicle with a massive winch and crane designed to tow multi-ton tanks out of the mud and repair them under fire. It remains one of the longest-serving vehicles in the U.S. Army. The M578 LRV, the light recovery, known as the cherry picker. This vehicle used a crane mounted on a light chassis to repair light tanks, APCs, and self-propelled artillery in the field. The M48A2 AVLB, the bridge layer, a turretless patent tank carrying a 60-foot folding scissor bridge. It allowed armored divisions to cross small rivers and tank ditches without waiting for engineer battalions. The M51 Heavy Recovery, a massive wrecker designed specifically to tow the Dambulang M103 heavy tanks. Because of the M103's weight, a vehicle with extreme torque and mass was required to prevent it from being pulled by its own cargo. Subscribe to Wardex for the next technical catalog.